Check. Check, check. Move this back a little bit. Go. Lighting's not the best, apologies. Check. We got sound coming from there. Do we have sound coming from Ableton? Check, check. Move this back a little bit. Go. Lighting's not the best, apologies. Check. Hello, hello. Oh, YouTube. What is this thing? You guys got experience points now. Everyone can hear me okay? Everyone can hear Ableton? The lighting is just atrocious in here on this webcam. I wonder if I can switch to my phone. Let's switch to my phone. I got... Yeah, there we go. Let's swap out this for... much better. Lighting's better, at least. All right. Better. 100%. Let me move this around, maybe. There we go. Hello. Push this down a little more. All right. How's everybody doing? There we go. You guys can hear me okay? Can hear me? Amazing. Katana, are you? If you don't see the donate button, it might be. Are you in Russia? Sometimes it doesn't show up. It should be beside the smiley face in the chat. Sweden. It should be there, right beside the... Do you see the add emotes button next to the chat? Let's go. Come on. Yeah, there should be a button that says emotes. Then it says show your support, and then engage with it. No, it should be like where you're chatting. If you just look just to the side, to the right, there should be a donate button. If it's not there, you can sign up for Patreon. I'll put a link to that. If you sign up for the Patreon, even the coffee supplier one, the lowest tier, you can still get feedback on your tracks. Money to use emojis. That doesn't sound right. Oh, yeah. So it should be a super chat or... Oh, yeah. Hey, Everka, how are you? Nice. Getting fed and relaxed, Kuma? Or DO5? Amazing. Can somebody else help Katana figure out where the donate button is? It's different on my end because I'm the one throwing the stream. So if you guys could just let them know where the donate button is, that would be super helpful. In the meantime, we're gonna get started on some tracks here. Not a long stream today. There is honestly not too many songs so far, and I actually have a birthday party to go to, so the stream will for sure 100% be under 2 hours. We'll be done for sure by 1 o'clock my time. It's 11 right now, and I'm hoping to be done a little bit earlier, so I have some time to get ready and all of that. Any amount is fine. Minimum is, yeah, any amount is fine. Minimum's 2 USD. So anything past that's fine. I don't see Volker in the chat, so I'm going to move his track down. He actually submitted 2. I'm going to see if I can just do 1. Manu is not in the chat yet, so I'll move his down a little bit. James is not in the chat yet, so I'll see if somebody else is. Okay. Let's start with this this one here, Afro Tech Melodic Techno. And we'll just jump right into it since we're going to try and keep this in time. You guys can hear Ableton okay? Is my voice okay over Ableton? Kick is quite clicky. Thank you, Katana, for the donation. Nope, you're all good. No, Armenia doesn't have to be progressive. Oh, James, you're right here. Okay, nice. Yep, I got your Zoshiko. Oh, Volker's here too. Okay, amazing. Manu's here. Okay, so I gotta pay attention to the chat. Kuma, I got yours. Sounds like the song is actually in mono, so I can't really touch on the stereo imaging. You must have exported it in mono by mistake. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. I don't know what the heck that was. What is going on? Wow, that is not what I meant to do. Sorry. Holy crap. There we go. Sorry. So yeah, I'll just stop it for here. The track's sounding pretty nice so far. The kick is quite clicky, especially in the beginning. A little bit too sharp, I think. It's not bad once the track kicks in, but it is a little bit, like, it could be a little bit more rounded off, I think, the kick. It's pretty bass heavy in the highs, so it's like boom, 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 almost like an old school trance kick. I think it could be a little bit lower, and that would fill up the low end a bit better. The track does sound like it's in mono, so it's unfortunate because it would probably sound a lot nicer in stereo. But overall, the vibe is really nice. The track's energy is good. It's arranged nicely so far. Let's go to that breakdown. Thanks for the donation, Armini. Trying to catch up on all the chat here. Synth work is nice. Also, Kuma, isn't it like 6 a.m. for you? Build up's nice. Nice. Good build up, good drop, good energy. Synth sounds really good. So there's something weird going on with the kick right here. If you listen, one of the kicks actually sounds muffled when the tom plays. Sounds like it's the third kick. It goes pop, 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 pop. So try and fix that, I think, for sure. It'd be pretty important to fix that. Overall, the track is really nice. It's written well. The arrangement's nice. The track has a lot of good energy. It's exciting. The lead work is good. Very nice track. Just a couple mixed things is that kick, I think, needs to be a bit deeper. Doesn't even need to. You can try it a bit deeper, see if it fits better, and then fix that kick. It's only happening over here, too. Maybe even only here. Weird. I think it's those toms. And then, yeah, stereo image. I would love to hear it in a stereo track, but I'm sure the stereo would make it sound much nicer. But overall, really nice track. Other than that, it's a little bit busy with the mix, so just make sure that you're properly EQing and sidechaining things out of the way so that they don't overlap too much. But I think it actually sounded quite nice. Up next, we have Wolf by Mika James. And Katana and Armini, I'm just going to make you guys moderators real quick, so you should be able to drop your track into the chat now. So just drop your track in by putting a link in the chat, please. And thank you for the donations. Also, some good news is I'm going to be, well, let me ask you, chat, if you would like it if I think I already know the answer to this. If I put some of my work in progress projects that I'm not finishing, if I upload those to Patreon. I think it's another way that I want to start giving back to my patrons as support. So if you want, let me know in the chat if you'd like it if I would upload projects that I have that are a work in progress that I ended up not finishing. And then you can play around with them, you can work on them, you can finish them, and, you know, collaborate with me if they end up being really good. Let me know. Oh, so that was your track, Corey. Yeah, really nice track. Yeah, exactly, Kuma. You're usually up before the sun. Yeah, it did sound pretty decent in mono. Thank you, Katana is Key. I got your track. And thank you, Armenia. I got your track as well. The kick in this sounds very nice. Nice, I love that. Very cool. Keeps the energy going, fills up the track really nicely. Katana, could you make your track downloadable, please? On your SoundCloud link? Dude. Okay, then I'll do that. I'll probably upload my first one in a couple days. Maybe here it could have a clap or something, just to evolve the track a bit more. Yeah, I'm in Canada right now. And I'm getting a new Mac this week. I'm so excited. Finally, the M1 chip. Yeah, exactly. I like how this track's evolving, but I do think that it needs a clap. That's cool. Yeah, very cool track. Am I missing anybody's tracks here? Oh, I love that synth coming in. That's okay, Katana. Hey, Nico. Okay, I'll upload my first project file in a few days then. Start of August, I'll upload a project file for you guys to work on. And then we're going to do more remix competitions as well. I've just been so ridiculously busy in the summer. But I am planning on upping the Patreon content again. Okay, overall, James, this sounds really good. The mix sounds really good. The kick, really good. Bass is good. The synths are good. It's not, it's a bit busy, but it's not really muddy, which is good. I do think a clap would really help to bring the track back to life a little bit around here, as it gets a bit repetitive. But also I think that it would give a little bit more high end to the track and cut away a little bit of that mud in the middle. So it would kind of balance the track a little bit as well, because you'd have more of a sharp high end, and it would kind of just balance the busy midsection. Breakdown was good. Interesting. I like the build here and the drop sound. It's a really good track to have just like early on in a night. Like, you know, it's got good flow, good energy. The breakdown's not too long, so it would be really good for an opener building tension. Overall, I really enjoy it. It'd also probably be a bit shorter. It's about 8 minutes. And to be honest, I don't think you need that synth at the end here. And I would shorten it definitely by at least 30 seconds. I'm just gonna grab my charger for my phone so it doesn't die, but we're gonna check out Manu's track. And yeah, does anybody not see their track here? Kuma, I'm gonna move yours up in the queue because I know you have some plans today, so I don't want you to be waiting too much. Full K, I'm gonna put one of your tracks at the end just in case we don't have time. I want to get everybody else's in first. And let's go ahead and start this one. Nice toast. Oh, this is nice. Ooh. Is this yours here, Katana? How I feel? Yeah, that one's right. Ooh. Mix is top quality. I think the sub could actually be a bit louder in your kick. Quite a bit actually. But the high end is really nice. Oh, sorry. I realized I'm on the wrong track. Like that. Where is... Oh, I'm on the wrong track again. There we go. Okay, so the sub could be a bit louder, like warmer overall. Just like this area here. The vocal's really nice. Okay, so my only thing is some of the sounds might get lost in the mix when you're not listening on good quality speakers. The lead that you have is a bit... That might get buried behind some of the stuff. Also, some of the little plucks and stuff you have in the midsection might get lost on a bigger system. Or like, sorry, on a less good quality speaker. Like we hear it on our headphones, we hear it on good monitors, but you might lose it over like laptop speakers or, you know, portable speaker, things like that. Just be wary of that when you're writing music, that you have to consider all the options of listening devices and make a decision based on that. So if you love this lead, but it doesn't sound good on half the speakers that are coming from it, then it's something to consider and it's something to kind of worry about. So just keep that in mind when you're writing, that you want to be able to hear most sounds and you don't want to have so many details that only you can hear on a good system, because I'm guilty of that too. I'll put in these like weird scratchy sounds that like you can't really hear, but they're super quiet in the background, and no one's going to hear that but me, and all it's doing is clouding up the mix. So when you're writing and mixing, just pay attention to those things and just make sure that you're making good decisions based on the information that you have, and that you're like, okay, this sound is going to sound good on good systems, bad systems, whatever. And I just find that some of the stuff here, it's a little complex, and some of the sounds are just going to lose a bit of that clarity when you don't hear it on a good system. But since it's mixed pretty good, I don't think it'll be a big issue. It's just a mindset thing when you're writing, not to try and not focus on adding too many little details like that if they're not going to show up in the final mix anyways. Other than that, I think the low end could be a tiny bit warmer. That could be fixed in the master anyways. Track is good, vibe is good, arrangement's good, vocal sounds really good. There's not really much more to say. I know that Manu always has really nice stuff coming through. So yeah, really nice track. It seemed like the chat really enjoyed it too. So yeah, any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. But let's move on to Inaki with Mind Tricks. Katana. Being seduced by a Spanish waitress who has no real interest in me in a warm summer night. That's funny. Yeah, the real test is the car test, exactly. This is already hitting really hard. Sounding good. You can see it's limited. Kick. Oh, sorry, kick. Sounds pretty beefy, looks good. That vocal's super cool. Nice. Yeah, very cool. Bassline sounds good, kick sounds good. The high end might be a bit sharp up here. Bass sounds a little bit too loud in the very lows, like down here, it's a bit too full sounding, and like if I pull this down by like 1.5, it cleans it up a little bit. So I think it's just a bit too loud in the second octave of bass here at about 80 hertz, 90 hertz, 80 hertz. So I would turn that down a little bit. Very nice. This sound is a tiny bit too loud. This sound here is a tiny bit too loud, this one. I feel like it has a little bit too much reverb on it, that it feels like it's not sitting in the mix. But yeah, very outer limits, very Stan Kolev. Baby rapper juice. Overall, really nice. The bass, a tiny bit too muddy, I think, too loud, and then that one synth just a little bit too loud, and it felt like it was just a bit too distant in the mix, so I would reduce the reverb a little bit, maybe 10%. Overall, it sounds really nice. The track builds nicely. Even here, too, the kick feels like it's a bit lost behind that bass. Just slightly. But overall, really nice track. Nothing more to say. Mix sounds great. Stereo imaging sounds great. Yeah, well done. Up next, we have our crowd favorite DO5 with Where's My CPU? This hat feels quite sharp to me. Like a bit ear piercing. About 14,000. Yeah, right on here. Yeah, very sharp. Yeah, it's quite nice. We do have really good quality in our submissions. It's awesome. The snare has a bit too much white noise as well, I think. Song's building really nicely. Song's very loud. Probably like -7. There, hold on, let me. Yeah. Minus. That was a good guess. Come on, baby, hit -7. Yeah! Wow, just hit it. So I think maybe it's a bit, almost a bit too loud at that part. It just feels like it's a bit, I mean, I'm being a bit picky, to be honest. I don't love the snare so much. I feel like the transient on the snare, well, I like the high end of the snare, but I feel like the transient of the snare isn't as good as the high end is. Oh, love that. Such a cool track. lead synth is a bit... Oh, no, actually. I feel like the kick is maybe 1 or 2 dB too quiet. I don't know about the snare. To me, it feels a bit flat. But it matches the energy of the track well. The track overall, beautiful arrangement, beautiful sounds. Love the sweeps. This part was super cool. Yeah, really nice. I think the kick just needs to come up a couple dB. Maybe make that snare a bit punchier. The hats are a tiny bit sharp, but I think it kind of works in the busyness of the track because it gets very busy in the high end, but maybe it's a bit too ear-piercing. Overall, really nice track. Everyone in the chat seemed to love it too. We expect nothing less from UD. That was a really cool track. A little bit loud as well around here. Maybe you could take down 1 or 2 of the levels so that it feels a bit more dynamic, but that's just splitting hairs, to be honest. All right, well done. We have Volks with Space Wave. Yeah. Skipping through a little bit because I'm running out of time already. Nice, okay. Track builds nicely. It's a little bit repetitive. Okay, not the most interesting breakdown, but the cool sounds. Okay. Some of the mix is nice, but the track itself is just a little bit repetitive. Like the sounds are good, but then here you just kind of do a bit of a cop out, right? You're bringing in the drums, and then to keep it interesting, you just take the drums out. That doesn't give a lot of value to the track. It's not really doing too much, but just building up the track and then taking it back down, then building it back up again, and that just doesn't really keep me interested. The mix is really nice though. Kick, be a little bit loud. Oh, maybe not, hold on. I guess it's fine. And then the mids get pretty muddy and convoluted with the amount of sounds you have going on. So I would try to make something a bit more lead heavy that would bring the track forward, making it a bit more interesting in that aspect and maybe a bit sharper. The mids are pretty muddy here and they don't have a lot of definition. So it kind of just sounds like a big blob of like, wow, which isn't great. And the breakdown, it's a little bit repetitive. Build's nice. I like that you've opened up the synth more at the last drop, but again, it's just a little bit repetitive. It would be cool live for sure. It would be like a nice like building attention track, but I just think it needs a little bit more to keep it interesting and to keep it to get to that more professional level. But yeah, the mix, everything else, drums, sample selection, everything was really good. It's just that the track itself could get a little bit more defining and a bit more sharpness in the mids and a little bit more definition to really make it stand out. If you made those sounds a bit more defined, I think even just that would make the track a lot better. But even adding in another element or two, something simple, lead, atmosphere, whatever, just to break up the monotony a bit would go a long way. Up next, we have Chad, June Learning 2.
Sana anlatmam gereken bazı şeyler var. Ara beni. Görüşürüz.
Okay, so the kick is a bit quiet. The open hi-hat feels a bit big compared to the kick in the track. It feels a bit out of place. Well, bass is nice. Con, I have not downloaded your track. Sorry, I'm catching up on the chat now. Yeah, the DO5 track was really good. Yep, Con, thank you so much for your donation, and yes, I will absolutely add that to the stream. We have just about an hour left, so I'm gonna make sure I get through all these tracks. Yep, I'm catching up on all my Patreon messages as well. Evrica, I got your track. Okay, so yeah, this one, it's a nice vibe. The mix needs a lot of work, the sample selection needs some work, but the writing is good. So this lead could come up in volume. The hi-hat could be a bit better quality. Oh, do I already have Everest track? Oh yeah, I do. The vocal is cool. The white noise is a bit much there. Okay, so the track itself is nice. The writing is nice. That's important because mixing you can learn. You can hire someone like me to do it. That's fine. The writing is the harder part to do. So shakers are nice here. The kick needs more volume for sure. Honestly, if the kick was louder, this hat would even sound better. Believe it or not. Pads have a little bit too much low end. I'm sure if I open up an EQ, we'll see a bit of a strong low frequency coming from the pads, which we probably don't want. Right here. If I push that up with an EQ, it's gonna be like, doo. So all right there, we just have a little bit too much from that pad, which is going to muddy up the track a little bit. Kick could be much louder. The synths are nice, and yeah, that hi-hat's quite big. Maybe it's just a bit too splashy for the track. Maybe something a bit tighter would sound good. Same with the snare, it's quite white noisy and big, and it just doesn't really match the energy of the track. The leads, pads, everything else sound good with the writing, so just fix up those samples and try to balance the mix a bit better, and I think you have a really nice track. I'm sure Papa Kuma thinks so. Speaking of Papa Kuma, we have The Way. Tommy Har, I just got your track. I believe. I think. Khan, I have your track now. This is already sounding really good. Ooh, that bass line's really nice. Really nice and deep. I love those plucks. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, I agree, D. That last track needed more dynamics. Evrica, sorry, yeah, I have your track here, right? Yeah. Nice breakdown. The kick might be a bit too big. Sounds like it's just a little bit too boomy in the lows. Like in the subs, just like... So I would try shifting the balance a tiny bit. Like literally -1 here. Hear that difference? I think this is even too much. Right, I lower the kick, and then the high end I bring up a little bit, and it feels a bit more dynamic. Break is nice. Vocals cool. Build's nice, the drop's nice. I think that lead could have a bit more presence. Nice. So I think that the lead could have a bit more presence. Yeah, a bit more presence in the lead. The bass and kick can come down a little bit in volume, maybe 1.5 to 2 dB easily for both of them. And then, yeah, the tracks overall, really nice. That lead needs to come up a couple dB in volume for sure. Groove is great. The plucks, chords, everything really great. Clap could come up maybe 1 or 2 dB as well. Good track, Uma. That was really nice. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to get to both your tracks full K. So if you have a preference, let me know, and I will listen to this one first. And just let me know, do you want this one or do you want this one? I was gonna try and squeeze it in, but I just don't think I have time. Okay, we have How I Feel 2025. I think this is Katana's. No, was it?
As the music just
Super cool.
how I feel.
Haha. Very cool. Very video game music to me. Love that octave drop there, really good. I didn't love that drop to that part. It felt like it was just two different ideas kind of playing one after another.
All alone in the crowd, we are bound to be free in the sounds. As the music just surrounds me, I lose my sense of what is real. What is real is how I feel with you.
The vocal felt like it was sidechaining that part a little bit too much. It was too obvious that you were sidechaining, and it took away a bit of the quality for me. Oh, that was cool. Wow. The snare sounds really good there. Wow. Okay, overall, super cool track. I just think that the main thing was that part felt really disconnected around here. It just like stops. And then it just goes into a new part. I didn't feel like that transitioned well at all. A lot of this sounds really great. I do think you could have a tiny bit more high end in the mix. It's very slight, but I do think that you could have a bit more just to give a little bit more of that crispiness.
How I feel.
Right, just that slight difference makes a pretty big, or I mean, it's pretty slight, but it does make it a bit more clean. The chat was super quiet on that track. It's just not everybody's usual style that we cover here, but that's totally fine. D, you have not given me an answer back yet, so I'm just gonna go. I mean, not D, Folker. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let me make sure that my stream is still working, because it looks like I'm paused on there, but I could just be thinking. Oh yeah, I think my chat was just paused. Whoops. Yeah, that was weird. Okay, my chat was just paused. Okay, let's go back. Yes, I will swap the two tracks. So you want this one first then. Got it. Yeah, I was like, wow, nobody's saying anything about this really cool track. I'm surprised. And then, of course, I refreshed the page and there's a bunch of comments. All right, let's listen to this one. This already sounds interesting. Let's see. Oh, okay. I added it twice. Okay. Thank you, Everka, for letting me know. Hey, Martin, how are you? Yeah, the sound design was amazing on that last track. See you, Papa Kuma. Thanks for joining. Jardel, did you send your track already? Yeah, honestly, when I first did the stream, there was only like 9 tracks because everybody sends it last minute. So I was like, oh, we'll definitely have time to do 2 tracks. And then now that everybody else has sent theirs, I just don't have time. So it's not fair to give special attention to anyone, I guess. This one's really nice. I think the kick needs to be a little bit louder. Okay, groove is really great. I feel like here you needed a bit more. Filter out a bit more, make it a bit more of a transition here. Take out the bass. Because let me try it. Because that bass just, like the track didn't feel big enough there to build up. Like that. No, I know, but it's true. I shouldn't give anybody 2 tracks. It's not fair. Yeah, I feel like there needs to be something bigger here. That hi-hat wasn't really enough to keep it going. Nice. Really liking those coming in. Nice. Really liking that breakdown. Those hats with the reverb on them, they sound really cool, but they sound a little bit off time, I think, because there's so much reverb. So I think for that part specifically, you should try to maybe to bounce it to audio and slightly move them back, or just move the MIDI back or something, because it feels like they're just hitting and it's kind of taking it out of time because it's such a big reverb splash. So just move that back like 50 to 100 milliseconds, I think, and that would be enough. It's a cool idea. That was cool too, how it transitioned back in. Mass Deception, we have 45, well, about 40 minutes left. Maybe an impact here. And I think the drop lost a tiny bit of energy. But I like how the buildup wasn't massive. No, you know what? I think the drop is good because the track itself isn't super energetic. So I think putting a medium-sized build like you've done and then dropping it back in works. I think what you could do maybe is slow the track down by a BPM and allow the track to breathe a bit more, maybe even 2 BPM, and really lean into the slower energy. Because right now it feels a little bit like a bit busy. If you slowed it down a little bit, it would give more room to the track. Like that. So I think 2 BPM. Heck, maybe even 3. No, 2. Go down 2 BPM and then shorten the track as well. It's almost 8 minutes. It doesn't need to be. It's not the most interesting track over a long period. I think get rid of a section here, just like this, because it gets a bit repetitive. Or get rid of a section here or here. Like bring this break down a little bit earlier. Move that over. I would have this track no more than 7 minutes. And yeah, shorten that part here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even go to here. Right? And then you have 3 sections here, then a build, then back into the kind of like slow mix out down, and then maybe remove a small section here as well. And that would actually really shorten the track by about 1.5 minutes. You're at about 7 minutes. The track doesn't need to feel so interesting because it's shorter. And if you slow down that energy, I think it sounds way better this way. See you later, D. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Always appreciate you. Like, I would be way more inclined to play this if it was slower, because it feels like I can hear the detail a lot more. And it's a bit different for you too, so try it out. But I'm really curious to hear what it sounds like when it's slowed down. Slow it down a little bit, clean up the mix a little bit. It's a bit busy. And maybe try a different hi-hat, that one that you brought in I didn't love, and then shorten it a little bit. And I think it would be actually a really nice track. You're close though, so please send it to me when it's done. Like the vibe. The kick is a bit buried behind the mix. I think the synths are a bit too loud and the bass is a bit muddy. Okay. Track's a bit repetitive. There needs to be more changing. It needs to grow a bit more. It's quite muddy, so I don't really hear the quality in a lot of the sounds because everything feels a bit muddy. Yeah, see this as well, just a bit repetitive, nothing really changing. So increase the volume of the kick, and you're going to want to EQ out some of the muddiness of the track. So some of these sounds just need a bit more clarity, so you can try to open up the sounds a little bit of their cutoff, EQ out some of the mid frequencies around here, and try to push up some of the areas around here within the synths, and that will add a bit of clarity. Drums could also be louder, especially the hats. Actually, both clap and hat could be louder. I think that would also really help the track as well. And then variation. There's just no variation, so you want to add some stuff that's going to keep it moving, keep it growing, and changing the structure of the sound so that it's more interesting, adding in new elements and removing elements. Up next, we have Kowloon Neon. The kick on this one needs more power in the lows. Yes, I did download your track. Sorry about that. It's right here. Thank you for reminding me. Melodies are nice in this. Kick, yeah, kick is way too quiet. It just doesn't really have any power. It's even quieter than the hi-hats. Should be more like that. Sorry. Hey Mason, yeah, there were some good tracks as usual. You can watch the stream back if you want. Yeah, I'm finding there's a lot of elements going on and they're just kind of blending together. There's no dynamics or clarity. So just try to increase the low end with the kick, the bass, and then try to make one or two of the elements more the focus, because right now you have so many sounds happening at the same time that it's hard to hear what's going on. I don't know which thing to listen to. There's an ARP coming in, then another ARP, then a lead, then another lead, then another ARP. So it's really hard for me to listen and think, what am I supposed to be hearing right now? And it becomes very confusing. Right, there's so much stuff going on. Yeah, and it just gets more and more full. So I would definitely take out like half of those elements at least and just try to focus on one main element and then the supporting elements. Otherwise, it becomes very, very messy and it's really hard to hear what's going on. And then turn your kick up and your hi-hats and claps as well. It's just there's too many sounds going on. So turn up the hi-hats and claps, kick, bass, take out half of those synths. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very messy. And once you start taking out those synths, the mix will have more room to breathe, and you'll be able to turn up those other elements, and it'll sound much more balanced. Up next, we have T9. Sorry about that, Con, that I forgot your track. Bass is a tiny bit muddy. Kick could be a little bit louder. Okay, so a bit of a transition here would be good. This feels a little bit dull, repetitive. Okay, so it's nice that you're bringing in new elements, but it's not enough to keep the track interesting. You need bigger elements that are gonna be more impactful and more interesting. Oh, excuse me, sorry if that was loud. Okay, so the lead synth also is very quiet. The nice clap, nice hi-hat, those both sound good in volume. Kick needs to be cranked up a couple dB. That new lead could be also louder. So overall, it's not a bad mix. It's just the kick needs to be a bit louder. The kick and the clap and hi-hat sound good. Bass could be a little bit cleaner, have a bit more grit. So cut out a little bit of the EQ around here and push up a little bit here on the bass. Like here on the bass. Just to give it a bit more grit and less mud. And then that lead can come up in volume. And that way, by doing this, the whole track will feel more balanced and a bit loud, a bit more loud. Yeah, even just turning up the kick a couple dB is instantly going to make the track feel more loud and more balanced. Overall, not bad at all, but just, yeah, and a bit more elements in the first half to make it a bit more interesting. It just felt a bit repetitive. Everca with 12 demo. Nope, that's all three of them. Try again. We have 3 tracks left. Turn up on the limiter a little bit. Should be off. My pleasure. By the way, everybody, I do have music production courses. If you are interested in taking my music production courses, I'm going to post a link right now. Highly recommend them if you're learning music production, if you want to improve. There's a link to that in the chat. This track's sounding good. Mix feels pretty balanced. Snare sounds pretty good. I would turn the snare up like 1 or 2 decibels. Leads are cool. The second lead feels a bit farther back in the mix. Like this one feels front and the other one feels a little bit further back. So I would try to bring the high end of it up. So they both feel like they're in the front. Hats sound good. Snare sounds good. Yeah, sounds good overall. Cool, really good track. Build-up was good. It's just here, I think the leads, those ones, they feel way too far in the back of the mix. So I would turn them up a little bit and also open up the cutoff a little bit so they're a bit more forward in the mix and you can hear them a bit stronger. Other than that, it sounds really good. The kick could come up maybe a little bit more low end, but it could be a bit, maybe like 1 or 2 dB louder. And then the snare could also be 1 or 2 dB louder. Okay, I just have to run to the bathroom real quick. I will be right back and we'll listen to this song together. Okay, sorry about that. I'll rewind it a little bit so I can make sure I hear it. I was trying to make it to the end, but I wanted to have focus on music. It's already sounding good. Kick sounds really nice, really full. Pat sounds really good. Really nice track building up. See, there's a lot of elements that are going, which sound really nice. Becoming a little bit repetitive. Nice breakdown, chill. Nice build. The drop is good. Full sounding. What I like about the track is that it feels like it knows what it's doing. It's matching the energy. It's not trying a huge build up. It's just a nice chill early in the night track, low energy. Very groovy. Mix sounds good. Really, the only thing I thought that was a bit repetitive was maybe around here. So maybe you could make the track a little bit, I mean, it's not that long anyways, but just something, some sort of one shot or something here to make the track more interesting, to keep it from being repetitive. And I think you're good to go. Everything else sounds good. The mix sounds good. The arrangement, build, drop, all sounded good. Up last, we have Con with Maybe. Thanks everybody for joining the stream so far. Yeah, it's a nice track. It was groovy. Okay, so the track's interesting. I like the growth on it. I like that it's moving. The kick, I feel, is a bit weak. I don't love the clap, to be honest. It feels a little bit bulky and muddy. Very cool drop. Really like the drop here. Snare actually cut through the mix quite nicely here. The track itself is super interesting. There's a lot going on. It builds nicely, but I think the snare has a bit of mud to it. Actually, not even the snare. It's actually fine, the snare. The kick could be louder. Like 2 dB louder. Snare could be like 1.5 to 2 dB quieter. Synths are all quite loud, which is good. I think they work well on the track. I think the hats sit well. Yeah, I think that's mostly it. The track's pretty cool. Yeah, just turn up that kick a little bit. Yeah, and the snare's just a little bit too loud and a little bit too sharp. Other than that, I think you're good. I don't love the snare in the build up here too. It feels a bit too present and too loud. Kind of disrupts the flow of the build up a little bit. Okay, we are done, everybody. Perfect timing because I do have to jump off and I have a birthday party to go to. My little niece who's turning 1 today. Oops. Well, that's not going to work. There we go. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for the support on Patreon or the donations. Really appreciate it. If you want to do music production courses, I put a link, dowdenmusic.com, if you want to check out that as well, or productionacademy.dowdenmusic.com for the music production courses, dowdenmusic.com if you want to look into the coaching. I will be pushing something new on Patreon next week. A project file for anybody who wants to work on those project files. They're work in progresses that I've done that I'm sending out for you to work on. And then that's it. So thanks so much, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend. And I will see you in the next stream. Bye, Mason. Bye, Con. Hernandez, Analog, Volker, Everka. Thanks, guys.